in 3, 2, 1. Hey there, 22 fam. We're back with another episode of our startup stories. My name is John Lorenzo. I'm the owner here at 22 Creative. And today I have my very good friend, Mr. Dan Mauz, the owner of the Mauz Group. Dan, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. We go back a long time. We almost started our businesses together, I think, maybe a year apart. So we've known each other for a long time, and I'm really excited for our guests to hear your startup story today.
I appreciate you having me, man. That means a lot. I actually saw a video a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, I got to get on one of those. And there we are.
You know we were going to get you on there. But Dan, before we get started on the questions, could you tell our viewers how best to connect with you?
Yeah. So obviously, social media is Facebook is at the Mauz Group, and so is Instagram, right? So it's obviously Mauz. Telephone number is 856-302-4003. And anytime email Dan at the Mauz Group.
There you go. And we'll make sure we put all of that information in the caption so you guys can connect with Dan. All right, Dan, let's get this show on the road. Dan, tell us your startup story.
Oh, man. So I got into real estate to be a real estate investor. And shortly thereafter getting licensed, I started selling houses and never looked back.
When was that again?
That was 2005. I got licensed in January of 2005. I was a junior in college. Never thought about real estate as a career. Then I worked for a friend's uncle. Then I got more heavy in real estate. I invested a little bit, bought rental properties. And then I decided to go full time with him when I graduated college as his assistant and as an agent. And then about a year and a half into that, in November of 2007, I left there and went to Keller Williams. And that was kind of really that startup. So I was really going out and being, this young 24-year-old guy going into a new thing with Keller Williams, commission only, like seeing where it goes. And then year later, met my former business partner, Cheryl. We joined forces for about 8 years that lasted.
Yeah.
It was a great ride. I think, we both learned a lot, realized that, I think we could both say that we were both at that point to where separating was the better decision at that point in hindsight. At the time it wasn't really, but in hindsight, we both have had phenomenal lives since then and have grown so much, through that. So then I started the Mauz Group in 2016, but I had already had, I can't do math, 11 years under my belt in real estate.
Yeah, you've been around the block.
Not really as a business owner. Yeah, not as a business owner. That was the business owner. That's the Mauz Group really transformed me.
But in real estate, the day you get your license and transition your life to a full-time commission only, I mean, you were a business owner well before you started the Mauz Group solo.
Without a doubt. And if I would have thought about it like that back then, I think I would be in a different position now. So I'm not in a bad position, obviously, but definitely would have been in a little bit of a different position at that time.
So you went full-time into real estate right out of college almost, right?
Yeah, like literally I graduated in May of 2006 with a finance degree. I did a couple of interviews, did not like it one bit. And he said, hey, I'll give you, X amount of dollars per week. And then a commission structure. I said, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So was that after those not failed interviews, but those interviews that you had and realized that that's not where you really wanted to be? Was that the tipping point? Were those the things that pushed you that said, hey, you know what, let's go try to pursue this real estate career?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was, I just, you know when something's right or not. And it just didn't feel like the right fit for me.
Yeah.
I liked what I was doing in real estate. I'm like a very systems-based person. And I like people. So I'm like, you know what, I'm already involved in this. And it's just a process that I go through every single time, whether it's working with a buyer or seller. It's just the same process, just different things can pop up.
No, process was something that I learned from you, buddy. I remember early on in our relationship, I thought you just really liked me, but I was actually on your schedule to get followed up with on an annual or biannual
I did really
basis.
like you. I do really like you. Especially the fact you're doing this on your birthday, so it's even better.
Absolutely, brother.
So But yes, it was a system. I mean, it was a database touch program that I had reminders to pop up. I get birthday reminders every day, and it's part of what my system is.
Absolutely. And this is why your team is the number one real estate team in your Keller Williams office, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year we closed 275 transactions for about 62 million in volume. So
And you
big
are
step
low key.
forward.
You
Yeah.
were low key about all of your success, and that's what I really appreciate and love about you.
It's a definite group effort. It's definitely not one name. Yeah, it might be called the Mauz Group, but there is a definite group behind there that makes things go.
It takes a team, it takes a village to really be able to accomplish what you've done. And you have a great team. We love working with everybody that's on your team.
Thank you.
So Dan, next question. What is your superpower over at the Mauz Group?
Oh man.
I love the
Superpower.
superhero question.
Yeah, that always stumps me. My admin, they always make fun of me because I can never answer that question. They always tend to say, that it's just me and my style of doing things. I would say my persistence. I'm a follow-up machine. And I heard a long time ago that 70% of our business comes from follow-up. And that has always resonated with me because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember talking to people 10 years ago, and I just have taken note after note after note on the conversations, whether I talked to them, left a message. I have it in our database management system that I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that conversation, and I can use that when I talk to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that is one of your superpowers. You are persistent, you are detail oriented, you know that the details matter, and it's what really separates a good business from a great business. And this is why you and your team are number one.
Yeah, I mean, we always strive to put the best customer service experience out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we want it to be an experience, so that people come back and utilize us. That's why 75 to 80% of our business comes from people that we know and repeat customers and referrals and such.
Absolutely. What would you say is the why behind the Mauz Group? What keeps you guys just striving to do better every single day?
This is a constant. I think it's constantly in development. It's something that you and I talked about several years back. Getting into real estate, I had no why. It was to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was 21 years old. Okay, I'm just going to get licensed to be an investor. Then it turns into being a real estate agent. Then it becomes, a business owner. And now I have other people I'm providing for and providing opportunity for. So I think the why is number one, to build a legacy, to leave behind something that my family, can go on for future generations with, but also to be able to provide opportunity to the people that work with me now or in the future, and people that have worked with me that aren't with me anymore. I look at what they're doing and I'm proud to say that they worked with us.
Yeah.
I don't take credit for their success because they put the time and energy and effort in. But hey, look, I was that guy. I had someone that gave me an opportunity and gave me a stepping stone. Wasn't easy to walk away from that. But I did, and thankfully, I've learned a lot over the years that keep on pushing me forward. So I want to give back. I want to be able to give back, and one of my goals is to become a coach in the future.
Well, if anybody is qualified to be a coach, I know it's you. You've heavily invested over like the last decade in just consistent coaching. So I know you practice what you preach. You've invested not only the time, but the money in becoming the best version of yourself. And you haven't even reached that best version of yourself because there is no best version of yourself, right? We just keep trying
we're always growing.
Push that envelope every single day.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Dan, as we come to a close here, this show is all about inspiring others and motivating people to go and create their own startup. What piece of advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about starting their own business right now?
Create a vision. You have to have a vision. You have to know what you want it to look like in the end, so that you have you can build that roadmap of every step you're going to take, right? Who you're going to hire next. If I could rewind and do it all over again, that is absolutely the first step that I would take is, what do I want this to look like when I'm all done?
Do you create a vision board every year?
I do. I've been very lax with that.
Yeah.
But it is something that, not only with my team, but I want to do it with my family. So yeah, that is something that we absolutely have done, and do as a team, because I want to provide opportunity, knowing what their goals are. So I want to support their goals too, right? Because their goals come into play with my business.
Absolutely. Having a vision is so important. If you don't know where you're going, well, then you're just throwing things against the wall.
Yeah, you can't, exactly. You can't build a plan without having an end goal, that exit strategy, right?
Yeah.
Your exit strategy might be to keep the business forever, but do you want to be in the sales aspect of it? I want to transition out of sales eventually, and that's coming closer and closer. So I have to really put these key people into place.
Yeah. I think if there's
what I need.
Absolutely. And I think if there's anything that we've learned during our career, one thing specifically is when we have that vision and we know where the end goal is, it's so much easier to build the plan backwards from there so that each step, like reverse engineering that vision is how you eventually get to it. And that vision is, it's going to change, especially we started our careers in our early 20s. Now we're here in our 30s. And my vision 10 years ago was definitely different than where it is today.
Oh, same here. I mean, a marriage, 3 kids later, it's unbelievable. Getting into this business, I never thought about any of that stuff.
That's amazing.
It evolves over time, and it's okay that it evolves over time. There's nothing wrong with that. It should be evolving over time because you grow all the time.
Yeah, we're constantly discovering who we are as a person, and our goals consistently change. But I hope that our viewers here took a whole lot of nuggets. I know I did. It's always good to rehear your startup story. Wish you all the success, brother, and thank you for being on the show today.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. We will see you next episode. Thank you, Dan. Check out all of his information in the caption. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.